Hey, y'all, good evening. Before we get into Beneath the Planet of the Apes, I'm here with Travis. We have to make a little, I guess, preamble. Like, hey, before you listen, something weird happened. So, our good friend, Precious D, Dominic, is in this episode for portions of it. So, for whatever reason, Dom just completely disappears during the middle and edit as much as I can. At a certain point, it just sounded like me and Travis are talking to an imaginary friend. And I just decided, fuck it, let's roll with that. So
Yeah.
Dom is at the beginning, and he disappears for the middle, and he shows back up towards the end. So yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. You might just imagine what he's saying. I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah, he's smarter and funnier than us, so
There you
just
go. There you
imagine
go.
something.
Honestly, like the reason I didn't just completely like redo the whole episode is it was a very fun episode and we all were laughing hysterically. So
Oh, absolutely.
a lot of that came through, and unfortunately, parts that didn't are maybe better now because you have no idea what we're laughing at. So there you go, there you go, there you go.
Oh, I love it.
Enjoy tonight's episode. See you next time.
Well, I gave you everything I've got. Well, I know it's not a lie, but I tried so hard. All the time we spent, wonder where it went. Why must time move on? Why must we grow apart?
And welcome to the Final Picture Show podcast. We are here once again to talk about the Planet of the Apes tonight, talking about Beneath the Planet of the Apes. And it's not just me and Travis. This time we are joined by our guest, Precious D from his own specific podcast, Monster Movie Fun Time Go. And
Hello,
since
everybody.
most people tune out before we get to the end of the show, unfortunately, Dom, do your sales pitch.
Yeah, Monster Movie Fun Time Go is a kaiju-based podcast for the time being, where me and my best friend Honeybee go through the history of kaiju movies. We started in 1933 with King Kong, and we are up to the 2000 teens now, 2018 currently. We also have a Patreon, and we are doing the Play of the Apes movies on our Patreon currently.
Great
And
minds
you
think
can
alike.
find all our stuff at mmcom.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You say you started in 1933? Goodness.
We didn't start
looks good for his
podcasting.
age.
We were on the radio. We were on the
right.
American Broadcasting Network. No, we started watching. The history that we're watching began in 1933. Hey there, pal. It's time for the Monster Radio Show. It's time for the Mercury Theater of the Air.
And now the
Well,
monster's walking to the door. So you can hear
Lord,
the clunk, clunk, clunk.
I literally made myself cry thinking of that. That was funny. Okay, so the last time you were on the show was when Travis was absent. That was when we talked about that stupid fucking post-apocalyptic commando shark. That movie
Yes.
was terrible.
Oh, I
Also,
never
this,
actually watched
this,
that either.
this podcast had a different name the last time I was.
That's true. We did change the name of it since then. Yes, this is true.
What's up with that?
Well, the name was always supposed to be a placeholder, and then I was like, I think I want to change it. And I threw some ideas at Travis, and this
Yeah.
one was the one that we were like, yeah, that works out. The other idea was a vague reference to the Everclear song Santa Monica, Watch the World Die, but I was like, I don't feel like that tells people what the hell we're doing. So, kind of wanted to get it straight to the point, some of that technical writing.
And that reference only works for like 10 people.
Everclear was a very popular band. How dare you?
I dare.
Cowpunk Unite, right?
According to you.
Hey, they were in that movie with Jason Biggs and that one girl. I don't remember her name. What was that movie? Loser?
I was
They're
gonna
in
say
that for like a
most of
second.
his movies.
I love me some Jason Biggs movies. I think he's an underrated actor.
The pie guy?
Yeah, he's an underrated actor. I think he's quite good in several things.
No, he is. I like him.
I like him in a lot of things. So he's not in this. But the last time all three of us were together was it was like 2 days after Donald Trump got elected.
Oh,
So
Jesus
that
Christ.
was the last time. So we might as well just jump into Sign of the Apocalypse. We're about 6-7 months in now. Pulse check. How's everyone feeling?
Well, Trump and Abbott are trying to start a civil war with their gerrymandering bullshit. So, there's that.
Yeah.
There's that.
That's fun. Fun Texas facts.
So,
if it makes you feel any better, I don't think it's the first time Texas has done this.
I would
It's
push
not.
that. I would push that motherfucker down a flight of stairs.
Allegedly.
In
would-
Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
There you go.
In Minecraft.
Yeah, I've never seen. What is it? Battleship Potemkin.
Yeah. That
But
movie's
I've
fucking
seen
good, though.
But I've seen that scene, and I'd like to reenact.
That's pretty much the scene.
I'd like to reenact it with Greg Abbott. So,
The Odessa Steps, as they're called.
yeah, there you go.
Some cross coordination.
There you go.
Lord, yeah. So as we started school recently, and that's been fun.
Hmm?
Kids losing their minds about some of these laws that they're having to hear about. Where I'm like, yeah,
Really?
legally now you can't have your phone in school. It's no longer just like a school policy. Like the governor, he passed a law. So
What?
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, in Tennessee, there's a law now in place that we have to recite. We don't have to, but I was directed to recite it at the beginning of orientation. So the students were clear on this. So anyway, that's pretty much. I mean, obviously there's tons of fucking horrible shit going on literally every single day. It's exhausting to think about it. Period. If you hear any dog barking or anything like that in the background, I'm trying my best to cover it up. I'm downstairs. Like I said, the AC went out. It's now been fixed, but I have not moved my equipment back upstairs. So for the time being, we are here because, like I said, I'm back at work. So I have to, go teach 120 children a day. It's kind of exhausting.
It's funny. We keep doing things in odd times.
Mm-hmm.
We went earlier, here at this house, we had no AC, and then we got it fixed. And then you had your time off from work because of summertime. And then now you're going back to work, and now I have a month off because I just made that choice. So we're doing things in different stages. I like it. We're handing it off.
Our power was out the other day for the second time in 2 months because
I saw that.
The power company claimed inclement weather, but it looked like someone had once again run into one of the poles. The pole was.
They need to put some, what do you call those? Those posts or whatever that keep people from driving into things. What do you call that?
Don't drive
they need
into
something
traffic,
around it because
traffic barrier.
Something like that. Yeah,
Where's Shakespeare when you need him?
Right? I don't me no word good.
'Tis shat forth be known as a road barrier.
Road barrier.
All right. Well,
car smashy barrier.
Smashy barrier. Let's get back into talking about the movie and not Donald Trump, like we said. That's our sign of the apocalypse. Man, there's a lot. There's a lot. Hopefully you're paying attention.
Gestures vaguely around.
Yeah,
that's our sign.
Yeah, just the dog in the burning down building. Like, this is fine. Just having to remind myself this is normal. Today in school, this is my little, hey, I get to be a teacher. Let me inject the youth with some little counterculture edge. I had them read the first chapter of 1984. Two things. One, my God, has that book become true? Fuck me. Two, the kids don't know what the metaphor Big Brother is. They thought he was talking about like an actual Big Brother. Like, where's this Big Brother going to show up? And I had to be like,
what?
Good. No, I'm serious. These are 10th graders. And I was like, no. It's the Big Brother is like the government is always watching you. A couple of them got it. Not all of them, but
have they not seen the show Big Brother?
I believe if it's on TikTok, possibly. If not, no.
I mean, it's the show's about constantly being under surveillance,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would think they would
have been
at least.
Great if it was just like, oh, is that what that's about?
Like I said, a couple of them obviously did know it, but for the most part, yeah, it was a lot of whenever I had them answer a question, like what, basically the connection was a connection question, like connect what we read to real life. The question was like, this is what story talks about constantly being watched. When is there Big Brother in your life that's constantly watching you, thinking that they're going to connect it to, I don't know, something going on in the government, something going on in the world. Most of them were like, I don't have a Big Brother.
Oh God.
And I was like, well, there we go. So
There we go.
There we go. There you go. That's what
No,
being
but
a
it's-
teacher in America is like. We have a lot of people listening in Romania, greetings, and Canada, greetings, and the United Kingdom, greetings. You're probably like, that's American education. Yes, yes. This is it.
So they haven't already.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They haven't.
Sorry.
They haven't already had to read the whole book by 10th
No.
grade.
Dude, I don't think they've read. Most of them haven't read any books. I asked the like, hey, get to know each other question was like, what makes up a story? What stories have you read? And one kid was like, I've never read a single story ever. And I was
Good
like,
Lord.
wow, that's sad.
Wow.
I literally said, like, that's sad. I'm sorry. I was like, just kind of depressed immediately. I was just like, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm just sorry, man.
I read a book once. I remember it well. It was green.
Lord, this is why I love having Dom on here. He makes me laugh so much. All right, Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Let's get back on track. 1970,
Yes.
Directed by Ted Post, who directed a lot of things. He hated making this fucking movie.
Oh, really?
Which is, I think, yeah, he did not have a fun time. He wanted to take it in one direction, and the studio wanted to take it in another direction, and they constantly fought over the budget, and it was just not a fun experience. He would never do another Apes movie again after this one. And this may not be a solo experience because he also directed Magnum Force, which is the second of like the Clint Eastwood movies that are and in that movie, after directing that, him and Clint Eastwood hated each other, and he was like, I'll never work with Clint Eastwood ever again. It might be a Ted Post thing. I don't know. But both times he was like, never again. He did work with the star of this movie, who I am going to call James, not Charlton Heston.
Right.
Because, he would show up again with Good Guys Wear Black, which is an early Chuck Norris movie.
Okay.
He directed that. He also directed Hang 'em High, which is, Clint Eastwood. So they did something before Magnum Force, which I love Hang 'em High. I think that's a great movie. And he did 4 episodes of The Twilight Zone. I couldn't figure out which ones. I went searching. I literally was like looking at my VHSs to be like looking for his name. I didn't see them in any of the episodes that I have circled as like favorites of mine. So, but he did 4 episodes of Twilight Zone. I'm sure somebody really likes them. Pretty much everyone has a favorite Twilight Zone episode. He also did 24 episodes of Rawhide, so more Clint Eastwood. So at some point, him and Clint Eastwood were good friends, and that bridge was burned with the making of Magnum Force.
Well, James Franciscus, I didn't realize this when we talked about this movie on my show. He was the year before this in a movie that we covered on our show, on our regular show, not the Patreon, The Valley of Gwangi, which is a cowboys and dinosaurs movie.
Yeah. Cowboys and dinos. Two the best of both worlds.
Yeah, right?
So there you go, folks, for you completists and
I like it.
crossover fans.
Paul Dean is the writer here. He would go on to write most of the rest of these movies in this series, as well as Murder on the Orient Express, which he won an Oscar for, and Goldfinger as well. As well as 7 Days to Noon, which I have never seen, but it came out in 1950, and he also won an Oscar for that as well. So, a good pedigree showing up here, and this is not my favorite of the Apes movies. Actually, the first one's not my favorite either. We'll go into which one I really love of these 5.
Yeah.
It might surprise you which one it is. But yeah, he did go on to write a lot of the rest of these as well. So I like a lot of his stuff. I can't say. I like Murder on the Orient Express. I love Goldfinger. I need to check out 7 Days to Noon because that, based on the other stuff he's done, probably is pretty good. I've never seen it though.
Yeah.
The other person who kind of contributed was the producer, which was Mort Abrams. He also wrote a little bit of the first one. We talked about him in the last episode. Thing we didn't talk about last time is he would also write the original Dr. Dolittle movie. Back, you ever seen that one?
Yes.
I don't mind that movie. I love the Dr. Dolittle book. That was one of the first books I read in elementary school. Speaking of reading, And I really loved the Dr. Dolittle book. That one and Neverending Story were like the first long, quote unquote, long books I've read. I say that having read now like 1,000-page books, and those are like 140-page books. But like as a child, that's like, oh, I read something that's like hundreds of pages. You know, that used to be like an accomplishment, man. I used to be like, yeah, I read Neverending Story from cover to cover. That book was long. It's not that long, and maybe it is. I don't know how long Neverending Story is, but yeah, that was my first. It never ends.
It's infinite, isn't it?
Well,
it's still going.
Unfortunately, for a lot of the characters, no. There's some definite. My wife refuses to watch or read Neverending Story because she knows how it ends, and it just makes her sad. So it doesn't.
You don't have to wait till the ending.
You don't, man. God, fucking damn it! Now I'm just gonna make myself sad again.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
This is what you get from reading literature, children.
Emotions.
God,
Fuck.
Books make you sad.
They do. Hey, they can make you smile sometimes. Dr. Dolittle is one that I loved. Just growing up liking animals and stuff, that book was always one that I kind of gravitated towards. And, the Eddie Murphy movies are kind of what they are. But,
Don't.
Nothing to do with the book at all. They basically...
Norm Macdonald is a dog. That's
you
good.
do get Norm Macdonald as a dog. I mean, if nothing else, the movie is that.
Nothing else.
That's what we should just rename it. Don't call it Dr. Dolittle. Just call it Norm Macdonald as the dog, and just re-edit it. And we'll just take Murphy out.
I'm a dog over here. I mean,
honestly, with AI, you could probably just have it re-edit Dr. Dolittle to reshape the narrative to be focused on Norm the dog.
Am I wrong? Who was the tiger? It wasn't Albert Brooks, was it?
God damn it, I don't know. Why are you asking this question?
I mean, if it's not Albert Brooks, then I remember it very differently for no reason. It was. I just looked it up. It was Albert Brooks.
Looked it up because I wasn't going to.
I love that. I remember loving that because I love Albert Brooks.
Yeah, so. Albert Brooks is a good time.
You know what? I'm gonna watch the Eddie Murphy Dr. Dolittle again. Just because of Norm Macdonald and Albert Brooks.
Make sure you watch the sequels and the spinoff too. Just get really invested.
The only reason I'm watching it is for Norm Macdonald.
You're not doing anything else right now. Go ahead. What do you got to lose?
What else do I got going on? Apparently,
Travis will be starting his own Dr. Dolittle based podcast.
The Dolittle Cast. Do Nothing Cast.
Yeah, it would feel like it. Because it'd be like, well, I'm going to talk about the same thing again today. Because there's not that many movies.
Well, you could go through them minute by minute.
I just had I had a completely different idea. I just had an idea of like doing a Groundhog Day podcast where every single day you just review Groundhog Day until one day it changes.
Okay, there's some podcasts there's one that is I don't remember what the movie was, but they were going through it a minute at a time.
Holy shit.
And there's another one where
that's some art student shit.
Yeah, there's another one where I believe they do the same movie every time, but they have different guests.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, back on track. I was going to say, the last time I was in Los Angeles, I went by like a little art exhibition, which was showing a movie. Like, it was a 2-hour-long movie, but it was shown slowed down to be like the time to take place over the course of 24 hours. I don't know. I was like, immediately, it was like an eye roll yawn. I was like, I'm an art major and fuck off. Like, come on. That's just some stupid shit. Speaking of less stupid shit is the cast of this movie. We got John Brent, who is played by James. I swear to God, I'm not Charlton Heston. He was in a bunch of other stuff. He was, like I said, also in Good Guys Wear Black. Mostly a TV show kind of thing. Would actually die fairly young because he was a notoriously heavy smoker. But other than Good Guys Wear Black, was also in Killer Fish and a Dario Argento classic, Cat of Nine Tails. There's some good stuff there. Beyond his acting credits, he was also one of the first students of a very young Bruce Lee. There you go. Well, there's a little connection there.
Yeah.
Next up is Zira, played by Kim Hunter. We talked about her a little bit last time, but we're going to go into a little bit more detail because she's only going to show up, I think, one more time, maybe? I can't remember. I think she's in another one of the movies. I could be wrong.
She is.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't ever remember. Sometimes there's, like, cameos, and, I mean, like, they're, like, use footage from the other ones. So.
Might.
Yeah, she was blacklisted and was famously a very, very hardcore liberal. If she was around now, she would be probably burning the street down. But in spite of being blacklisted, she was mostly known as being Stella in A Streetcar Named Desire, which is an amazing fucking movie, as well as a wonderful performance. That's one of those plays that I try to get my 10th graders to read sometimes because it's a good time. 1 second. We're back. All right, so yeah, there is Kim Hunter, like Streetcar Named Desire. That's a classic movie. We got Nova, played by Linda Harrison. We did not talk about her last time because we would talk about her again. She would actually have a cameo as Nova in X-Files, which I thought was kind of interesting.
I didn't know that.
She would also be in Cocoon and in Airport 75, also with Heston. And connecting to our podcast, which, of course, as we've talked about before, all things lead to Highlander, the TV show. Linda Harrison was in Batman 66, which is the closest point to Highlander in our little timeline that we're talking about here. Pretty much every... Oh, good.
Oh, did she?
Shameless plug. We talked about that way back in the day. Way back in the... Almost a year ago now. Hey, coming up on a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was like our 6th movie we talked about was Planet of the Apes. Something like that, yeah, because you were like, I want to watch Planet of the Apes, and I was like, great, let's watch the Tim Burton one. You were like, oh, and I was like, not the one you were thinking I was going to go with.
Like, you got me.
Curveball, motherfucker. I'll make you talk about Mark Wahlberg. All right. We also have James Gregory, who would be in one episode of Kolchak, the Night Stalker, as well as a bunch of other TV shows, like a literal shit ton of TV shows. Yeah, I was gonna say his credits go on and on and on and on. That was what I was about to get to. Yeah, his other big movie that you maybe know him from is Manchurian Candidate. He was not the original choice for this role. They also offered this to some other people, namely Orson Welles, who's a man they pitched this role to, who promptly turned them down and said that would be not a good use of his talent to be buried under makeup. But hey, we almost got Orson Welles in the role that James Gregory took over. He's the general in the movie. He's kind of the yeah, I see. Mr. Orson Welles makes art. Have you never seen Citizen Kane, you Philistine? It's not even my favorite movie of Orson Welles. All right. Cornelius. This is the only time Cornelius is not played by our good friend Roddy McDowall. Here we get David Watson, the 60s version of Robin Hood, and that was pretty much the only other big thing he was really ever in, other than, he was in a lot of things, but that was his next big role besides this thing that I really recognized him from. There's a lot of other people that's in the cast. We could talk forever and ever about them. Here's a couple of them. James Bacon, not Kevin's dad, but he is the only person to appear in all 5 films. He's the only one. Roddy and Kim appear in, I think, 4 of the 5. And there's a couple other people that appear in 4 of the 5. But James Bacon is the only one that appears in all 5. He was also a writer for the Associated Press. So when we talked about in the first one of the reasons this movie got a lot of publicity is because they put some of the writers as extras. And there's James Bacon. So he's just kind of an extra in a lot of these movies. But, hey, the only person to appear in all 5. We also got Lou Wagner, Gregory Sierra, Ted Andrews, Thomas Gomez, Jeff Corey, Victor Bueno, Paul Richards, and, of course, Charlton Heston, who we will get to talk about again. He will show up in a couple other post-apocalypse, pre-apocalypse movies. At least one other, and then it depends on if you include Soylent Green in that category, which is one that I'm kind of like, I don't know if I think it's definitely a disaster movie, but...
Yeah, dystopian for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So the only other post-apocalyptic movie Charlton Heston ever appeared in was some shitty TV movie he did in the 90s that I've never watched before, but it's on YouTube and it doesn't have very good reviews. I have no fucking clue.
That's a weird name.
I'd have to look it up. I'll get back to you. And it may not even be a post-apocalyptic movie, but it's the one that I was reading the description of where I was like, I can kind of see that being like an end of the world type movie. But if not, then Needless to say, we're not going to talk about him too much more. So, any final thoughts on Mr. Heston before we say adieu to him in our little podcast here? We've talked about him now, 4 times?
I think
5 times. He was in Armageddon, too.
Oh, that's right.
Planet of the Apes, Omega Man, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and I can't remember. There might have been one other time we talked about him for some fucking reason. But wow,
nice.
Nice. Hey,
Very
that's
cool.
that's the one to get. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's about it. Well, there you go. He's a dead man who loved his guns, and there you go. Well, there you go.
They finally pried it.
They did. The background / context, since we kind of talked about the background a little bit of the whole series when we got into the first movie. So this is going to be kind of like the Mad Max, if shameless plug, if you haven't listened to our Mad Max review, where we kind of front-loaded Mad Max and talked about a lot of the stuff up front, and then the rest of the movie's kind of breadcrumbed because, hey, we've already talked about a lot of this shit. No reason to go over it again. Y'all are smart people.
Right?
Context here, like we said, no Roddy McDowall. He was directing his one and only movie at the time. This is going to start a trend where we talk about people who were supposed to be here who decided, nah, don't want to. Or were forced to eventually. Charlton Heston was one of them. He did not want to do this movie. He felt that the first one ended in such a way that he didn't really need to come back. We were just going to be,
Yeah.
just kind of going to be beating a dead horse. He eventually accepted it on a couple of conditions. One, they'd shoot all of his scenes in a couple of days, which they filmed everything he's in 8 days, because while he was making this movie, he was also making Omega Man. That is why he is kind of not really here in as much. And if you watch Omega Man and watch this, you can kind of see, like, oh yeah, he looks like visually very similar, facial wise. Like this, you can tell, like, oh yeah, it's kind of, he's around that same age. Because visually, he looks different than he does in the first movie. You can tell he's aged a little bit. Like, he doesn't look quite as young as he did in 1968. Like, he just doesn't. But yeah, he did not want to do this movie. Eventually was coerced / bribed / I'll do it as long as you meet my demands. But whatever you want to say. He is here, and he did not necessarily have as bad of a time as he did the first one, where he was suffering from the flu. They also learned from their mistakes in the first one, where they filmed a lot of this one at night, or they would start filming during when the sun was coming down in the desert, as opposed to filming right in the middle of the heat.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit less prone for people to have heat strokes. The budget has also been slashed in spite of the first one doing exceptionally well.
Yeah.
This is because 20th Century Fox was about to go bankrupt because they had bet on some horses and failed. Here are the movies they bet on. We got Star. I've never seen that one. Tora, Tora, Tora. I have seen that one, but it was not a hit. Yeah. And Hello, Dolly. All 3 of those were not hits, and that cost the studio quite a bit of money, as they love films and says they hate musicals. Because I'm like, musicals are so much fucking fun. Like,
Absolutely.
They're so much fun.
Yeah.
Movies
Is that bad?
that if you turned this movie into a musical, the movie improves infinitely. And then there's certain movies that just can't work as musicals, like Nothing But Trouble, that Dan Aykroyd movie. I think if you turn that movie into a musical, that movie becomes an amazing movie. Make it into a musical. Continuing on away from musicals, there are no Planet of the Apes musicals that I know of, although...
There is.
Oh, there are?
The Simpsons.
Oh, shit. The Simpsons, okay. Okay, I was going to say... 20th Century, I was going to say 20th Century Fox, if you're listening and you need 3 people to spec write a Planet of the Apes musical, I got you covered. We got you covered. We can make this happen.
From Chimpan A to Chimpanzee.
Oh, shit. So the bud... So the budget is $2.5 million is what one source said. Another source said $4.7 million. So somewhere between $2.5 and $4.7 million is the budget. It would obviously make more than that. We'll get into how much it made in just a moment. let's go over some more casting choices. We already talked about Orson Welles. The other casting decision that I thought was worth mentioning is Brent. So they casted Brent here, our lovely main character, because he looks like Charlton Heston. I mean, that's
he does.
And he was cheap. He was cheap. He looked like Charlton Heston. Well, they, for a moment, considered going a different direction. Another actor who was willing to work cheap in 1970, but did not look like Charlton Heston, was Burt Reynolds. And he was one of the people they really strongly considered for Brent, which Burt Reynolds in this movie makes it a completely different fucking movie.
I was about to say, get your
completely different movie.
Ah. That'd be awesome, man.
Oh shit, that'd be so yeah, it'd be a very, very different movie. All of a sudden it'd be challenges them to a fucking stock car race. He's just like,
that'd be so great.
Come here, Dr. Zayas, let's see what you can do behind the wheel of a 66 Pontiac. God. So that did not happen, but that's a very different movie. Once again, 20th Century Fox. Hey, you're done making ape movies. You got to get that license back up there. You know, I know that shit makes a lot of money. We can write these things for you. We will make you a stock car Planet of the Apes crossover.
Hey, he did have an ape. Was it Cannonball Run 1 or 2? There was an ape. It was 2, right?
Right. Yeah, it's one of the ones where he's got a monkey. I don't remember.
Yeah, the one.
Which.
It's like it's the one that looks like it's driving the car, but it's actually the guys in the back. Yeah,
yeah, because like BJ and the Bear is kind of just like a ripoff of it, but they turned that into a TV show. Yeah. There was a time in the 70s and 80s where they were like, "What do truckers love? Orangutans. Put them in a truck. Put them in a truck. Let them drive. Fuck it." So moving away from the cast, and speaking of the writing, our main star here, James, I swear to God, I'm not Charlton Heston. Him and the director, they both, when they signed on, hated the script that was given to them. And so they both wanted to completely rewrite the movie. And they did. They actually completely spent like a weekend together and wrote a whole new draft, which would have involved like a half human, half ape crossbreed, with the end of the movie involves like them reading a lecture out to apes and humans in a classroom, showing that like civilization has advanced. Yeah, they were going to take it into a lot of different places. That obviously did not happen, but hey, there you go. Some interesting thing there. Exactly. So I was going to say, like, they did follow the Planet of the Apes tradition of stealing other ideas that they already had, because that's a thing they do a lot of. Rod Serling gave them some ideas when they were writing it. He gave the idea of the underground ruins, as well as the atomic bomb worshipping cult. But he was not, he did not get any credit, and he did not get paid for this. He was off doing Night Gallery at the time and could not be bothered to do anything involving this.
Yeah.
The action figures started coming out around this time. So from the first movie being so successful, and now the second one 2 years later coming out, this one only coming out because the first one was so successful. The I don't know if this was a genius move on his part or a stupid move, but Charlton Heston refused to let them use his likeness for action figures, so he never got any royalty money for that.
Oh.
Yeah. So they just made a kind of nameless figure that vaguely looked like Taylor. Yeah, white dude from Ape movie, but
like
yeah,
Tom Cruise. You can't use his likeness in any video game or anything. Yeah, no, like any Mission Impossible game, it's not him, or there's no likeness of him. It's he has the same thing. So
speaking of drafts, the author of the book, Mr. Boulay, he actually wrote his own draft of this movie. He was like, well, I'll write my own little draft and see what they think that one's good. They did not take it, but in his draft, it was going to feature like a human uprising, a la Spartacus kind of a thing. And yeah, kind of that was going to be the whole thing, is Taylor was going to lead a human uprising. And yeah. There you go. That was his idea. Obviously, once again, did not really happen.
That one, I struggled to think how that one would work, because the humans are basically non-intelligent, you know?
Yeah.
They're nonverbal, but they also are kind of, sort of. I mean, in the first one, it's kind of tough, you know? I think Nova's the only one that really expresses any kind of anything, you know, of the native humans. You know, I don't know.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Well, let's talk about how much money this movie made, and then we'll talk about some crossovers, because this specific movie led to some crossovers in the world of comic books that I thought was interesting.
Ooh.
And then we'll talk about the Travis trivia, what was in the charts, and then we'll get into the plot.
Yeah.
So this movie, like I said, the budget was somewhere between 2.5 and 4.7 million. It made $18 million, and of course, like every single Planet of the Apes movie, at least the original 5, all 5 of them would open at number 1 in the box office. So all of them were very successful. Even
People
the bad
went
ones
ape for the
were
apes.
kind of successful. It had an audience, man. Like it definitely, like we said in the first one, kind of like a Star Wars before there was Star Wars. Like the Star Trek movies would be coming around shortly after this as well, intermixed with this time period. And those, both the original Star Trek movies and these movies were all like they made money. They, in spite of maybe some of their aging, not necessarily looking the best now, but with
If
our
I was
CGI
around
glazed
at that
eyes.
time, if I was around at that time, I'd have been one of them. I'd go back a bunch and watch it.
I wish I was born earlier, man. I
Right?
would have gone to a lot more movies that I would have seen instead of having to just think about it. I believe we have lost our dear friend Dominic. He might jump back in.
I think so.
Internet problems, it happens. Here is a little bit about the comic books. Hopefully he comes back for this, but if not, that's okay. Comic series came out via Gold Key, and this was then transferred to Marvel, who got the license. And they published a series that was originally black and white, but would eventually move to color from 1974. 2015, though, the IDW, another comic books industry mainstay, they had a miniseries come out which saw the Apes crossover with the crew of the Enterprise and the Klingons from the Star Trek universe. So, in that particular crossover, they kind of intermix, a little crisscross applesauce, if you will.
Yeah.
All right. Ready to talk about the Travis trivia?
I sure am.
Alrighty, and then we'll get into the plot and everything that was going on. So, this movie came out on May 26th, 1970. One of the 1970s movies. We haven't spent a lot of time in the 70s yet.
We have.
But we're about to.
Awesome.
We're about to spend a lot of time in the 70s.
Yeah, we are.
Because the next movie comes out a year later. Yeah, they double down fast. In spite of how this movie ends, you would think that, like, the way this movie ends, you're like, oh, well, they would have to wait and to think of how they're going to find a sequel here. No, it was less than a year. They were like, fuck it, make it now. And that literally, so because this movie was so successful, they sent a fax to the writer that just said, "The Apes live, sequel needed." There you go. That's all they had. Yeah, we saw.
There we go.
There you go. Internet.
I hope too much of it isn't lost.
It'll be fine. We did mention the crossover, yeah.
Okay. I just read that today.
Have you ever read them?
No, well, I've read Kong on the Planet of the Apes, which kind of takes place in this period. It takes place after the first movie, and I think the mutants do show up in it at some point. I can't remember now. I was going to talk about it on my show, but I'm going to have to re-look at it. Now. But yeah, they in the Forbidden Zone, they find a dead giant ape, and this causes them to go looking for where it came from, and they end up on Skull Island. And
that's a cool crossover. I'd be interested in that. All right, so we came back just in time to talk about the music that was in the charts in 1970. May 26th, 1970. Travis, let's see if you know any of these. I have heard of most of these folks. Some context. Here's some people that weren't in the top 5. These people were not in the top 5. Number 8 was Creedence Clearwater Revival with Up Around the Bend. Number 9 was the Jackson 5 with ABC.
Really? That was
number 5. Number 9. And number 6 was the Beatles with Let It Be, one of their last big songs.
Wow, why so low?
Number 6. Number 5, a famous pair. I don't believe like each other anymore. I'm not talking about Hall & Oates.
Well, no, not that early.
A folk pair.
Yeah, I was going to say, do they not like each other?
I think they had some strife for a little while there.
I think they did, yeah. Well, they had a great Saturday Night Live bit where he where Paul Simon remembers everybody to the most minute detail,
Uh-huh.
except for Garfunkel.
Except for Garfunkel. Yeah. I'm glad that you knew I was talking about Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they did get along.
I believe it. They like had some issues at some point, but
They
Well,
went,
no,
they
they
went through some
didn't want. They went their separate ways. But I remember one time reading Paul saying something about it's the kind of thing where he could call me up just out of the blue and say, "Hey, let's get together," and I would go or something like that.
yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Like it wouldn't matter how long they've been apart. They could just pick right up if they wanted to.
I would love to see Paul Simon in concert. Paul Simon is one of my favorite musicians.
Yeah.
Graceland and the follow-up to Graceland, Rhythm of the Saints,
Yeah,
killer albums.
Those are albums I
Graceland's
constantly
awesome.
go back to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are both amazing. Younger listeners, if you've never heard Graceland, listen to that. It'll be a fun time. The song here was Cecilia. You're Breaking My Heart.
I love that
obviously. It's a great fucking song.
It is.
That was number 5. Number 4 is this one I'm familiar with. I've heard this song. My dad used to listen to it a lot. I could not give you a single fucking hint because my mind just goes to like things that I'm like, well, you'll never know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to tell you, Everything is Beautiful by Ray Stevens.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
One that I'm like,
One of his serious
I was about
songs.
to say, that's not the one about the squirrel that's running through the whatever.
Next one is one. This was the only one I was unfamiliar with. I don't think I've ever heard this song. Tyrone Davis, "Turn Back the Hands of Time." I might have heard it before in a movie or a thing, but the name and the song didn't do anything to me off the top of my head.
Yeah, that sounds like a name of a song I've probably heard. In
the charts was one that I've never heard of before. This is a jazz band. I've seen their album before here in Memphis. There's a local record company called Shangri-La that sells vinyls. They have them in the psychedelica section, so I'm guessing they're kind of like jazz leaning towards psychedelica. Did not expect to see them this high, but the group is Ides of March. The song is Vehicle. One song is a popular song. God damn, I kind of hate this song. Lenny Kravitz did a cover of it. It's in like so many fucking Gene commercials. What you got?
Oh God, yeah.
It's American Woman by the Guess Who.
Guess
that was
Who.
the number 1 song in the country when this movie came out.
I
like that song.
It's just played over.
I'm fine.
You're fine.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
American Woman.
Maybe now that we've had some distance,
But I'm gonna look up. Get away from me here, American Woman. Let me be.
I do like other Guess Who songs.
Name one.
I'm looking up
you know.
Ides of March later.
Name one other Guess Who song.
Is that important? I'm sure. I'm probably thinking of
Magic
Steppenwolf or
Carpet
something.
Ride.
It's like
All right, we're going to take a little quick break.
That's
the
the same group, right?
Oh, Lord. All right.
yeah, why not?
Y'all want to take a
Sounds the
break
same.
or just jump right into the
They
plot?
do.
Oh,
Either way.
American
Woman on your magic carpet. American Woman. It's the same song.
It's in
It was
Aladdin.
in Aladdin.
It's all the same, right?
Why don't you come with me, American Woman, on a magic carpet?
See, now American Eagle's going to take it and turn Sydney Sweeney into another fucking controversy. I'm probably one of the few American males that's like,
Wait,
I
what?
don't really care how she looks. I just think she's a bad actress. So I'm not interested in Sydney Sweeney.
I've never seen her in
she's
anything.
She was okay
she
in
was
that
in the Nun movie.
that
Yeah.
she
She was in
produced, so.
Euphoria. She was in
she was in that.
she's been in some
Never
horror
watched
movies that are like middling. I wouldn't be like, oh, any of them are like, oh, you got to watch that.
Oh,
yeah,
and I
was
don't
gonna
like
say.
horror, so
She's in Madame
there
Web.
was that.
Oh,
Yeah, so she's in this.
Is she?
Yep.
Yeah,
I did watch it. I
no
didn't
one
like
did.
it, but
No
I
one did.
watched it.
She's the blonde one.
She's the blonde one.
She's the white one. There you go.
It was
the white one.
There you go.
God. I was about to say, and this is going to sound terrible. Blonde white women are so forgettable for me.
Hot take. Hot take.
Like I hate to say that. It is. I don't know why. And if they have blue eyes, even worse. So it's I'm like totally blind.
You're master
blonde,
race
blue-eyed blind,
oblivious.
You know,
I like it.
like Exactly.
All right.
Okay,
Well, speaking of, we'll start this movie and the last movie. Basically, we just pick up from where the other one was. I hope you like that ending because you're gonna get to see it again. So, like, not only is this movie like 30 minutes shorter than the first one, it also the first like 10 minutes are just basically summarizing the first movie. Like, did you miss it?
Hey,
Here you go.
like,
Just like Back to the Future 2. Exactly.
Although they reshot Back to the Future 2, or the ending of Back to the Future 1.
We then meet our new astronaut and good old Skipper, and this is not Gilligan's Island, unfortunately, but a different movie it would make if this just became Gilligan's Island. What if Gilligan's Island didn't get lost on the... What if they didn't get lost in the ocean? They got lost in time. There you go. And that's... And that's how you got lost in space. Anyway, so eventually,
far out space
Brent meets Nova because we got to connect these two movies somehow. And then we cut to Charlton Heston looking. She is wearing his dog tags.
She's wearing
Taylor.
his dog tags.
And then we cut. This gives us the. This gives us the reason to cut to Charlton Heston looking much older. And we see some very cheap-looking special effects as he's fooled by the illusions into, lightning, fire, earthquakes. Yep. Oh my. Yeah. So the beginning of the movie is a little different from our first one. Immediately, we're kind of going into different territory. Like, the reveal of the apes here is completely different. In the first one, it's like a slow, steady thing. You build up the tension. And here, it's just like, there's apes. You got any fucking questions? It's a council of apes. Do you have some questions? Because that's the next thing we see. Is Nova takes him to a council of apes, which also could be a title of another Planet of the Apes movie. That's what I'm going to do. So in the first movie, I just made references to people who were obviously inspired to this movie. In this movie, I'm just going to make references to other titles that you could have named it. So there you go. The Council of Apes. The Tribunal of Apes. So... the Congress of Apes here, they say that the only human is a dead human, and there are some that disagree. I like that they're all sitting based on like their their species. I thought that was a cute little thing there. Yeah. And also, apparently, only one of the ape species has achieved equality because there's only one woman who's allowed to attend this, and that's it. And at least I think I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming, I guess, based on my knowledge of apes. Which is minimal, but especially apes in costumes. But, hey, it seems like Zira is the only one here who is... and that is why Nova comes here, is because Taylor says, if anything ever happens to me, go find her. So we got to connect the breadcrumbs somehow, otherwise we wouldn't have a fucking movie. Because like Charlton Heston said, the first one kind of wraps itself up fairly well. There's obviously some room for a sequel, like we talked about, with some of the themes we're developing, the world we're laying out. But we didn't need to do it like this. We didn't need to do it like this.
I was about to say, this is forced.
Literally.
I'm kind of curious how the other options...
The other drafts, I am too. Some of them I looked at, but I didn't read any of them. Because, I don't have the time for that. But... I would be too, to see the differences, to the ways they were going to take it. Because similar, this is very clearly forced. Charlton Heston didn't want to do that. Okay, let's find someone who looks just fucking like him. He's the main guy now, and we're just going to go through the movie. You could literally take out Brent, which goddamn Brent, that's your fucking name? Are you fucking Austin? Is it the 90s? Brent, come on, yeah.
Right.
Brent's gonna play hacky sack at the fucking square later, bro. Shaka. Tucker,
Brent and Tucker.
Brent and Tucker. Yeah. Brandon.
Brandon.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So, they're talking about, they're basically having a whole discussion about various things, and the main theme of it is that we need to go get more land. And that involves us going into the Forbidden Zone. And this is where some people in their reviews of this movie were unkind, as they said that it doesn't have any political themes like the first one does. In 2025, I beg to differ, because this is Donald Trump claiming Greenland we're coming, basically. That's literally what they're doing, is just saying, we need more land. Let's go take it from the Forbidden Zone. Who cares if it's forbidden?
there's also the youth protesting for rights for the oppressed. I mean, how's that not
that's
political?
right. Oh yeah. Oh, that was very.
And of course, nuclear
I was gonna say,
bombs.
this is not my favorite of the Planet of the Apes movies, but I don't think this is by far not the worst one. There's a lot here that you can get into, in spite of making fun of fucking Brent, and our hero is just a little bit lame, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. So
yeah. He's definitely our Kmart version.
Right. Temu Taylor. Temu Taylor. Yeah. We get a lot more militaristic apes here than we did in the first one, where we kind of saw the more like scientific, logical side. And here we kind of have some of that, obviously, with Zaius and Zira and their kind of conversations. But we definitely get more of like the militaristic, let's go invade and destroy your artwork, you damn dirty people we don't like. I don't know why. You're in our area. That's not our area, but it could be. Oh, boy. So, Nova and Brent crash Zira's dinner, and she's happy to see them, which is then crashed by Zaius because we don't know how to write ourselves out of the situation. So, this leads to Zaius saying that, he's going with them to go invade the Forbidden Zone. I'm skipping over the really awkward, like, spa scene. Do y'all remember that one? Where they're like half nude and it's like way too much ape. I didn't need to see that. I don't need to see all that ape. I don't need to see. I don't need to see what Dr. Zaius' crotch looks like. I don't need to see Dr. Zaius' crotch pouch. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you for that. That was a lot.
It was. That was, I don't know what, there's like, what's the rest of them look like? I didn't have that question.
Exactly right. I love that Zaius, when he's talking to Zira, says there's a time for truth. Immediately it was like, 2025, and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
There's a time for truth, and it's not now.
World.
Oh, Lord.
It is not now.
So,
you get fired for telling the truth.
So they help Brent blend in because Brent is looking like a total tool. And this doesn't go well because immediately after they give him the clothes to blend in, he immediately gets shot as soon as he leaves the village. Like within seconds. Like it took no time at all. Another thing where it's like, the writing isn't the strongest here. And it's just like, have him get shot. We don't know what else to do with him. Fuck it. Like, we gotta have him get somewhere. They need to get it. They need to have this happen. And I do like the attack scenes that they have, like the one on horseback when Brent is able to get out of the cage and fight the ape on top of the horses. That was kind of cool. Like you didn't see a lot of that in the first one. They didn't like show off like hand to hand combat like you do here with Brent. So that was kind of fun to see.
Yeah.
Oh, one prolonged chase scene later. And we finally figure out why this movie is called Beneath the Planet of the Apes, because Brent and Nova find themselves beneath the planet. And this kind of like leads to the next half of the movie. And I feel like so far I'm with it, and this is kind of where I start to drift into that. This isn't my favorite one of the movies. It's not that I don't like the second half of it, it's just that a lot of shit happens so quickly, and it's just like, okay, and I don't have any room to breathe. It's just things being flown at me. It's like, all right, so there's this cultists who are worshiping a big atomic bomb, and Brent used to live in this area, and I guess we're in New York, and the geography is like baffling because we're I thought we were one place in New York, then we're in another place in New York. That's fine, whatever. Don't care about that as much. Yeah. But like the cultists, and then they have like illusions. And you have to, and then Taylor's there for some reason, and then he's gonna fight him because they're gonna make him fight him, and it's just they don't believe what Brent is saying, and he keeps lying to them for some reason, and it just goes on, and there's this really ear-piercingly annoying music that's really annoying to Brent. It's really annoying to the audience, and they just keep doing it, and it's like, you're not torturing him, you're torturing fucking me. I just want to skip through this part of the goddamn movie.
For real.
But shit. So while this is happening, interspliced is what the apes are doing. which is marching into the Forbidden Zone and encountering their own little, problems along the way. As they see these, they see like a bunch of apes that are tied up and set on fire, and their big statue of their leader is literally bleeding from it. And this is all obviously an illusion because the cultists don't have actually any way to protect themselves other than these little clever illusions they're able to do. If we were using D&D logic, they are not gnomes, and they failed their illusion check. So that's for like the 3 people that play D&D that are listening. I don't know. Anyway, so it's really easy in 2025 to read like Zira and Cornelius as like these like counter new wave Democrats that are trying to push like some of the other members of the party. Like Zaius, these like old school people who are like, well, I know I don't like, the militaristic, but you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you got to play ball, kind of thing. I like that. That's the setup here. Like I said, I'm making some connections to 2025 because I think this movie really, I think it's really easy to connect, and in some ways to what's happening now, which is a weird thing to say. So they discover relics of the past, and blah blah blah. Nova eventually gets kidnapped. The keepers of the divine bomb. Eventually, Brent tells them, "Hey, here's the game plan. The apes are coming to take your land," and so the keepers of the divine bomb decide, whatever should we do, but blow it the fuck up. There you go.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna do.
Humans
and
got
we
a
get
human.
this really
Mutants
long, prayer scene that this is the part that I would cut because it's just like after a certain point, I'm like, I get it. You're singing in harmony. Yep. Every single other phrase. Okay.
Well, are they
almost?
Are they though?
Getting as close as they can for that $2.5 million budget. This whole part of the movie, I would be like, this some of this we need to go, and then after this is where Brent gets put in jail and he meets Taylor, and their reunion doesn't last very long because immediately they put illusions into their minds to make them want to kill each other, and they nearly do. This leads to Nova talking for the first time as she says Taylor, and that kind of sets the whole plot in motion where the boys are able to get out. You think Nova's going to go with them? Well, no. She gets shot. That doesn't last long.
Yeah, that was lame.
Yeah, that's how we got to kill her off. Let's just kill her. Done. Don't have anything else we can do with that. And so now the apes are basically here because they've seen through the illusions. Dr. Zaius is the one who rides through and he sees the blood coming from the statue, and he shows the other apes that, hey, it's an illusion. And we march on. The end of the movie is the part where it's like, none of this is really well thought out, I don't think. And I feel like the writers had a hard time with the ending.
No.
And they actually took Charlton Heston's idea where he was like, what if I just blow it the fuck up? Because he was like, we're done. We don't need any more sequels to this shit thing. And of course, like we talked about, immediately after this movie was successful, the writer got that fax that was like, hey, more please. Don't know how you're going to figure it out. Retcon the shit out of it.
2 words. 2 words. Time travel.
Every bad writer's favorite word. Time travel. Every 20-year-old that is trying to make their own 4th edition D&D campaign is thinking to themselves, time travel. There you go. That's my advice to writers whenever I'm like doing creative writing lectures is like time travel and you wake up from a dream. Don't use those. Overrated. Stay away. Stop.
I like a well done time travel story.
If it's well done.
I gotta say.
If it's well done.
If it's well done.
Yeah.
That's hard to pull off.
Well, we'll get into that on the next
Primer
one. But
is not.
They don't. They.
Well, I like the second part of the movie because the first part is just very much second verse. Same as the
you're not
first.
wrong.
And just retreading. So I like them going off in a different direction, showing us what else is going on in this world.
We do evolve the world. We do get the more context for the world here, like what's going on. with these what are they called? They're not cultists. Oh, what is their actual name? Oh Lord, Church of the Bomb.
Oh,
Church of the
like
Bomb
that,
or something.
Children of
something like that,
say.
like Children of Adam or something like that.
I also, yeah. And I like the revealing them our true faces to the bomb.
Yeah, they take their
I always
faces
like
off.
that part.
Hey,
So I first saw this as on
Face
TV.
off.
I saw this on TV as a young kid,
Yes.
and
oh
that
yeah,
part
yeah,
was
that
very
part. Yeah, I was gonna
impactful.
say a young John Woo
Yeah, it
takes
was.
notes. So the cultists take their face off, and we're getting to the end of the movie. Brent and Taylor are in cahoots, and they're planning on stopping the apes. Although, as we're going to find out, that doesn't actually end well. And I will say, them for like how you end a movie, this is a bold ending to go with. I will say that it is a bold ending.
Right.
So the lead cultist and the apes they basically, the apes break down the door. They see him there. All the rest of the people have fled for the most part in the cities, or into the further into the city. And so they shoot him after he, talks about the bomb, gets the bomb up, does part of the whole little dance. And then he gets shot and killed. And then the apes decide, hey, let's rip down the bomb and take it. And this leads to some gas popping out of the bomb. And Taylor and Brent use this as their advantage. They have the high ground after all. And they start shooting some of the apes, although Taylor gets shot and pretty much almost killed not very long into the fight. And this immediately sets up the end of the movie because Zaius and Taylor recognize each other. And he has a whole conversation about, what's going on. And then Charlton Heston, he shoots the atomic bomb off. And that's the end.
Mm-hmm.
As he's dying.
As he's dying.
Blew it up.
Which I'm calling bullshit on that. Nobody sets up a bomb that can be detonated with just one button, and that will go off right where it's sitting in its
Is that
launch
not
pad.
what you want bombs to
pad.
do? Is to not go to a location, but to just go up and then blow
No.
up?
Go right.
Yeah.
Just blow up right where you are. But you want to have you don't want a nuclear bomb going off by accident because somebody just kind of
Sure you
flops
do.
their hand on the button.
You're right.
Yeah, you get that
What?
two keys several yards apart kind of thing that no one person can
Right.
activate by themselves. It's like that
Imagine
in
there's a
real life for a
conversation.
reason. Yeah.
Like a conversation at the beginning. They're like, should we really have this button right here? We're like,
What's the
could
worst
go
that
wrong?
happens?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's big and red. It's big and red, so everybody knows not to push it.
Don't touch the button.
It is blinking
it's
red,
clear.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
clear.
it's
Don't
true.
worry about it.
Did it
No,
even have a
I
little
just-
flip up thing,
You just press in, I think.
or was it
That's
just?
it.
Yeah, sometimes there's a little box over
Yeah.
top of the button. You got to
Yeah.
flip up first.
Yeah. Well,
That didn't have that. Yeah.
That's oversight can be a problem.
let's
sometimes,
final thoughts on
Yeah.
this movie and any big takeaways we can apply to our own particular world. Dom, guest first. Go ahead.
I mean, I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to. I don't know if I've mentioned before. I've kickstarted the Planet of the Apes role playing game,
Ooh.
and I think the Forbidden Zone will figure greatly in the gameplay. Because there's only so much you can do with the material from the first movie in a role playing game. But once you add a Forbidden Zone, then
Does the
anything goes.
real fast?
Oh, yeah.
Real fast
There's all
question
kinds of
about
shit
that.
to
Does it
explain.
make it? Does it use its own system, or is it using D20 or 4th edition or 5th?
It's no. It's I believe it
okay,
uses
cool.
a D6
Yeah, I like that.
system, and it's from a company that makes other games. So
Nice.
I'm pretty sure. So I think it uses the same or a variant of the same system that they
nice.
use in other
Nice.
games. But I'll
Oh, cool.
check that in a
Travis, unrelated to anything. I found out there's a Highlander RPG game with tabletop. Don't know why, but it exists. Dom,
hell.
continue. Thoughts on this movie? If you have anything else.
minute. I mean, I like it. I don't love Temu Taylor. Also, I think they should have just called him Tyler,
Ooh,
and that would have been fun.
Tyler.
Say fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Just call it Taylor.
By the way, I think I believe I have that Highlander game. It's part of the Everyday Heroes line of games. It's a supplement for a game. But yeah, I like it. I do kind of feel similar to Highlander that there really only needed to be one movie, and especially with this one. Well, I mean, I don't want to get off on a Highlander tangent, but they totally wrapped everything up in that movie, and then decided there needed to be more. And I feel like with Planet of the Apes, that the big reveal at the end of the first movie, once you've got that, everything else is just kind of filling in the gaps. But I think kind of the whole point of the first movie is that big reveal. So once you've lost that, I'm not sure what the point of anything else is.
I like it. Travis, what you got?
That's big. I do like this movie also, obviously. I mean, I like the Planet of the Apes movies are just so good. Like, it's just such a great concept. Ever since the first Planet of the Apes, first time I watched it, I was all in. This movie did freak me out when I was a kid, like Dom was saying. The when they take their faces off, like, that's a lot to deal with. But no, it's still good. It's a lot of rehash, but it feels very rushed as far as, or not rushed, very confused as a story, as they were writing it. I feel that a lot, but no, overall, I liked it. I liked the idea. I liked the setting. I liked all of it. I liked the underground. I liked a lot of all of it. Except, of course, for Temu Taylor.
Yeah, I like parts of it. I think, like, to me, this movie is almost kind of on the same level as, like, Crash and Burn, where it's, like, it's perfectly mid. It's okay in a lot of ways. Temu Taylor is not the best. I get the impulse, because, like, if you don't do something different, like Dom was saying, then you're literally just rehashing the first movie again with a worse lead. Like, so you got to do something different. So I get the impulse to do something different with the second half of the movie. I just feel like maybe we could have taken it into a different direction. And knowing that there were so many different drafts and ideas floating around, I'm feeling like maybe this was not the best direction to go in. But it's also probably not the worst. Seeing some of the other ideas of, like, human-ape half-bred combos and some of the other concepts that they were throwing around out there. Yeah. I feel like in the context of where we were in 1970, it's okay. I don't like the second half of the movie as much as I like the first half, but the first half is basically just a poor man's version of the first movie. So, hey, I'll take that any day of the week, takeaways to apply to our life, if there are any. Hey, if you're going to shop on Temu for Charlton Heston clones, make sure you get a bundle pack. That way you have a couple to choose from when one breaks down. Because they're going to break down. I mean, you're shopping, we're shopping small, and the budget's lower, but we still got to plan ahead. So that's my takeaway. Buy in bulk on Temu, kids. There you go. All right. Well, anyone else have any big takeaways that they want to say? Travis, Tom?
I would just want to say I did look up quickly Planet of the Apes role-playing game. It is not just a D6 system; it's the D6 system that was first used for the Ghostbusters game and most famously used for the original Star Wars role-playing game. That game's been out of print for a while, but various companies have started using it. Well, a new version of the D6, just basic systems coming out, and a couple different companies have started reusing it for new things lately. Like there's a Zorro game that uses it.
That'd be cool. You get nerdy role-playing game talk. Board game. I say role-playing game. People think we're talking about video games. No, these are the ones that take place on a table amongst grown men who are slowly
real
dripping into
bugs.
alcoholism. Anyway, well, I guess we're going to end our episode tonight. We will be back next week to continue our journey into the Planet of the Apes. I'm going to let Dom say his piece one more time
Yes.
for those of you who weren't listening to begin with, and we'll get on out of here. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, come find my podcast, Monster Movie Fun Time Go, at mmftg.com.
And, there'll be a link to his stuff in the bio of this thing, so if you're one of those people who likes clicking on things, feel so inclined to click away. We will see you guys for a little bonus episode coming up in a couple days, because me and my little friend Travis here are celebrating our 1-year anniversary of this podcast. Thank you. And so might as well watch a Japanese ripoff, Time of the Apes. That's what we're going to be watching. So you'll get a bonus episode coming out in a couple days. Check that out. See ya. Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck, guys.
Hot damn, college boy. Thank you so much for listening. Every single week we come back with a new movie about the end of the world, or a movie about the beginning of the end of the world, or what happens after the end of the world, or maybe one day we just decide to watch Showgirls. Who knows? Right? But every week we are coming back, and thank you so much for stopping in this week and listening to the whole episode and hearing our thoughts on whatever train wreck of a movie I chose to force my friend to watch this week. I'm a good person like that. And thank you for also being a good person. There you go. If you want to be a really, really fucking cool person, which you obviously are, why don't you give us a like, and actually, more importantly, give us a subscribe. I find that to be more important. I don't know if the algorithm says it is. I don't really give a shit. But thank you for your patronage either way, and clicking all the things and doing all the stuff. Bye. Thanks.